Sitting right here under this tarp is the holy grail of buses, an icon of Australian, no, international cinema. Oh my goodness, what happened here? Seriously, what happened? She was a loud silver centrepiece destined to be a star. The bus, that is.
I think this is probably the most important bus in Australia's history.
Seat taken?
There's 4 characters in the film. There's the 3 drag queens, and the film is named after a bus.
I hereby christen this budget Barbie camper Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
She hauled 3 queens from Oxford Street to the outback.
Oh, Felicia, where the f*** are we?
Driving Australia's drag scene into the mainstream.
She sure is something. Shookers.
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 Perhaps we should have flown.
I think Priscilla really did stamp drag into the Australian psyche.
The unexpected hit empowered people around the world, including global drag icon Courtney Act.
Now, I don't want to feed into any right-wing moral panic, but shortly after seeing Priscilla for the first time in 1994, I did do drag for the first time, and look at me now.
Priscilla topped the Australian Motor Museum's most wanted list for years, a search that started last decade.
The Priscilla bus was already looked into and was deemed to be lost.
In his search, Paul Rees had learned Priscilla performed one last gig before she disappeared.
Ta-da! It went into service as a tour bus for bands, and I believe the Whitlams had it, and I'm sure they've got some stories to tell about that.
Blow up the pokies and drag them away. They're taking the food off the table.
It was known as the Whitlams bus for that year because we got it between the shoot and between the release of the movie.
In 1993, before the Whitlams blew up, they rented the bus cheap off a Sydney man they dubbed Fast Nick.
He just got this bus back from a film shoot. We didn't know what film. We just knew that it was pink. There were leopard skin curtains and there was a lot of red dust in the luggage hold that used to get in everything, all our gear.
Over photo, Meredith.
Very famous music festival. You can see how ridiculous it is. Here's a band that's probably getting paid $350 with a bus that probably cost 5 times that to rent for 2 weeks.
How far along were you before you realised what a big deal all this bus was?
We were touring in the big pink bus about 18 months, and towards the end of our tenure, the movie came out, so it started to be known as Priscilla rather than the Whitlams bus. And Fast Nick, I think he stopped offering it to us because it became part of a property dispute, which I didn't entirely understand, nor did I want to understand.
So from what Tim told us, it's led us here to northern New South Wales, where we're specifically heading to the very small town of Ewingar. Population 50-something, including once a very famous bus.
I bought the property as is, and it was just here.
The bus was here?
Yeah, it was just right there beside the shed.
You're kidding? Michael Mann bought this deceased estate and everything on it in 2016. Did you have any clue what you were looking at?
No, and about 6 months later I went down to our community hall. So then I went to the bar and I asked the barman, why is everyone asking me about the bus? He said, oh, that's Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I said, oh, it's truth, mate. How do you think? When I came home, I looked at it in a different light, then I started doing my own research. That is Priscilla when it was a coach.
Before she was Priscilla.
Before she was Priscilla, before she was used for bands.
Michael dug up documents that showed the bus was owned by a woman named Deb, a friend of the deceased estate's owner and an associate of Fast Nick's. So where does this bloke Nick fit into it?
Nick was a part owner originally, I think, of the bus, but Deb bought him out. So you can see there how low to the ground she was.
Yeah. Knowing he had something special, Michael called collectors across the country, finding out he had the trophy the Motor Museum was chasing.
Crazy story, really. We've been working on this project for a number of years, bringing Priscilla back to life, and it just all fell into place.
But before they could stage a rescue, Priscilla was almost lost to a bushfire and by chance saved by a water bomber.
But I'm looking forward to that she's going to be redressed, stored, and all Australians can see the old girl. Because she has touched a lot of lives in a lot of different communities.
I don't care if the sun don't shine, I get my lovin' in the evening time when I'm with my...
Then, after almost 2 decades dormant, poor old Priscilla was finally back on the road, leaving the good people of Ewingar in her rear mirror. Sent where all washed-up stars go, straight into rehab. Camera? Okay, I'm going to spin you around slowly. With her revival imminent at Royans in Brisbane, I called one of the old dear's old friends to fill him in.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
Stephen Elliott wrote and directed Priscilla and is now working on the long-awaited sequel. You remember this like it was yesterday?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, absolutely.
Okay, I'll show you the front.
Oh, wow. The bumper bar, that's it. The bumper bar's got me. I know where we are.
Okay, you ready to see the side? I want to show you the bit of lavender paint.
Oh, wow. That's real. It's the real deal. How did that survive 30 years? That's extraordinary.
Purple?
It's not purple. It's lavender.
Is there any chance that this Priscilla could have a spot in your sequel?
Well, I'm not going to say, but let's put it this way. I really hope so. A lot of work to do, though. This is scary.
Among icons, classics and muscle cars, Priscilla will eventually sit centre stage at the Australian Motor Museum after they've raised $2.2 million for her restoration and exhibition.
It's not going to be, it's got to be fabulous, because it's about a film that's fabulous, about fabulous people, about fabulousness. So, you know, we can't get away from that word.
She'll feel at home here.
She'll feel at home, she'll feel loved.
Until then, her former glory exists only on film and in our imaginations.
Come on, girls, let's go shopping.